So, hi everyone, today this video will be about what I think it's important you to get from any type of knowledge that exists. That is principles that I adopt and I think you should adopt that have make like a huge difference in my day. That's obviously by applying them makes me a better person. What do you have to understand? First of all, allow that I will say that's like the basal by for all other ones is the Pareto law. And what Pareto law states? It states that 20% of the things tends to determine 80% of the results. And why it's so important? Because it states something that it should be taken more seriously, and it's something that even makes me happy because it says that 20% of the things determines 80% of the outcomes. And so what comes with that means that 80% of things that you do as like a suboptimal type of effect, which is so is useful because our day-to-day life is limited. We don't have all time that obviously we like to have. And so by that, we would like always to know what are like the optimal choices, what are like the actions that have more effect in what, in probably the 3 4 targets that people will say that's like the ones that determines 80% of my happiness. That is having being rich, probably having health, having connections with other ones, and probably having kids, having family, having my genes going on in next generations. There's like human beings is like a species that's we can say that's simple, as some type of things that they perceive as are the needs to survive, needs to make and to procreate, and needs to thrive in their social circle in obviously in a way that can put him with bad outcomes, bad things that the world produce. That's what he wants. And that's so it's important to understand that we should focus and we should more fundamentalist. We should understand that we got happy with less things or with low things, with things that are just not like something extraordinary, but we're kind of falling and we're kind of sometimes even dodging having this acceptance, and we're making things more complicated, and it shouldn't be not. And what is something that it should taken care accepting, and it's the reality. This law is important and is the reality. We can take this and look so for how it applies in each one of the areas. In the area of the jobs, it just states what it's something that everyone understands. We can have like a lot of learnings during your lifetime. A lot of learning. You learn to write, you learn English, you learn the historic facts, but in reality, all that you learn, the majority is crap in the context that you're not going to use it. And so that's why you not have to be stressed with a concept that's really important to understand, that even more today something that is more in evidence, that is FOMO. FOMO is the fear of missing out something. And the reality is we produce a lot of information, it's reality, and reality is that 20% of them is like the most important ones. But it's something that we have to understand that by producing so much information, we don't get what is the most important. And so it's why to have logical reasoning, understand, and being fundamentalist. And so to be fundamentalist in the jobs, what we have to understand that what you want, what's like your biggest wish, why you like to get and to get good promotions and good performance, because you want to get paid. And what's like allowed that's immutable, whatever is the information that we can produce, knowledge, is that you got paid by what you offer and how much you try and you do heal the sickness of the other people. Obviously, the sickness just not have to be literally something that can be someone has a specific product, someone wants to be get have to get like a work as accountability, and so what you have to get is that you always should focus in how to produce value for other ones, and obviously talking about the jobs, we have to understand that it's not kind of putting you in a position that you just serve other ones, but you understand that you got paid because you aggregate value, and it's proportional. You tend to got paid, which more you get value aggregated. And that's why other thing that's important to understand when I choose to get expertise in some specific area is just not wanting and trying to understand so what the people perceive that is useful, so areas which gonna have like a huge demand and not so much offer. And so that's why it's important to understand that obviously to pass for my journey of formation, I understand what are like my advantages, which where I see that I'm better than other ones and that I like. So it's like simple criteria. See what people need, what you're good, and what you do like to do. If you have like three a area that's like the one that is like a highest score in these three concepts, simple, choose, go deep in that, and understand that you're gonna get paid in that area by the quantify of people that you got served with your ability, multiply by the quality. What's the quality? Being fundamentalist. Pareto Law, understand what people really do want. The 20% of the needs that people have are like the ones that they will pay more than 80%. And how this can be introduced in reality. For example, if you see your spends, you're going to see that the 20% of your needs determines 80% of what you spend. For example, you have needs for probably you have needs like to drink water, and you're going to understand that even you have the need of drink water, you're going to understand that you're not going to pay so much to drink water. For example, in comparison with food, your need to food is just like one of the almost infinite type of needs that you have, but it's like food is like one of the most important ones that you spend like 30% of 20% of what you earn. And obviously with food probably comes other things that you perceive that are useful. You're gonna understand then other needs that you can have, and a lot today a lot of people spend money with that is the needs to reciprocate, to have the reproduction and relations with other ones. And what are you gonna understand? You're gonna understand that a lot of people today spends money with a specific type of social media that is ONLEMEDEA. That's like a social media that everyone's understanding what I want to say. That obviously a lot of photos of girls. That's the men obviously attracted by that and see that they can get a lot of beautiful women that they can see in that app. And so they spent a lot of money just by of the causes that is like neither represents 5% of the needs that the people have. So you have to understand that as some type of people that we follow a lot of things, but some of them is most important, and which so most important is the one that we're going to perceive with more quality, and so better will be, and how much more I will be predisposed to obviously value the people that gives me the solution. And quantity and concept that you have to look in this concept, this one of the most important that I have in life, one of the most important things that we have to look to fully so our desire to get a lot of money in the most fundamental pillar in our life, that is job, that is looking for scalability of my work. Now working so that I've talked about quality, let's gonna so talk about quantity and how to aggregate quantity. So I would say one of the Paretos in work is understand that if you want to get like rich, you have to get a job that is as scalability. So a job that you can increase the amount of people that you offer a value for, but you don't increase the time and don't increase more than exponentially the time that you're gonna have to spend to aggregately offer value for other ones. I'm gonna give you two examples that are easy. We have someone that is consulting, and we have other one that sells digital products. The reality is the how much scalable is digital product is depending of my ability to make markets, to trade, but it doesn't require me to have a meet with one-to-one with all the customers that will have to have will have to spend money. It doesn't require me to be present in job to get money from. In comparison with consulting, I'm paid by the hours and by the value that I aggregate. It's value, but you understand that even I'm fundamentalist, and I understand that the money and what others want in reality, and so producing a high quality type of product, we have a limitation in consulting, a limitation that the quantity of people that I offer, because it requires time to work and to get money in consulting. While, for example, if I sell products in digital products, I can be sleeping and I'm receiving money because obviously the company is mine and it doesn't require me to do the process of getting value, getting money from the people. Doesn't require me to be present. So it's like much more exponentially can grow the revenue that I can get with this market than the efforts that are needed to get additional unities. And that's obviously it's neither always easy to get. So a thing that I do like, a thing that people have demand, a thing that I have better than other ones. And obviously another concept that I will say it's important to look in your job is scalability. That's obviously important concept. So you see that one of the like the four type of targets that I've said that's like the most important ones, the Pareto law in our life. One of them is already so make a decomposition and it's like you have to so search and to do the best choice that is choosing what's the job which so you want to work on is you have just to look for four key point indicators that are like the important ones. Now applying the Pareto law that can be applied as well in other area in our life, health. And what's this Pareto law? So, well, I will say that looking what science seems to say that's useful and has to be done by us in order so to get health. So, what are the exercises? What is the nutrition, the diet? And science says getting my vitamins, getting my minerals, getting some type of antioxidants that are useful for as well, and doing exercise and properly manage stress with tricks that are important too, and well makes like 20% of what whole exists in the field of health and what gives us health. 20% of the things are like the ones that define 80% of my health. So as well, tick that boxes. Now, social relationships. We have to understand that we are social humans and this isn't required to be over like being over emotional and now trying always to link for connections with other ones. But we have to understand that we need people, we feel good with people. It's normally and something that's intrinsically we're made to like to have relations with other ones. And so we have to understand that it's not bad to sometimes feel that we're just a bit needy and these things are normal. We're made to get like be prone to feel motivated to have connections with the other one. And so being needy is like a system that our body creates in order to us being towards social life and so getting connections with other ones. What's like the basal? We understand that people have motivations and so how to get people, what's like the most important thing, the Pareto in that pillar in our life will be for obviously getting better, because by getting better I make me better, but by getting better I as well can have the ability to aggregate more value for other ones, and so I'm going to see more prone because people will have more motivation for having a connection with me. So you see which more so, and sometimes it's something that's good because it's not linear. It's not because I'm being better in some area that I'm just gonna be good in that area. Probably by building and having a good job, I'm going to be more prone to as well having more health, to having more social connections. That's why it's so important. The leverage. Leverage is another concept that is something that changes your lives. Understanding what are the actions with more leverage tends to be something that has in common with the Pareto law that says 20% things matters more for so to determine and determines 80% of outcomes. It's a leverage. It's choosing some specific things that have the optimal and most aggregates for the output. It's like this law is like the basal for everything. It builds everything. Whatever you do decision, this law applies. Whatever you do a option, this law applies. Whatever you thinking, 20% of what you think is like 80% of what matters for you gonna introduce to reality. And that's good. It determines that you don't have to understand the other 80% of things that just kind of create 20% of results. Just by being already so getting some information you already can do a lot. And that's why it's so useful and even more nowadays that we are with the syndromes of the fear of missing out, always fearing that the world is changing, it change, but understand that being fundamentalist, it gives us a huge hedge and obviously works, for example, in our pillar of the health to reduce and manage our stress. I hope this video elucidates you more bit you then you just need to be fundamentalist to have a good life. So see you in the next one.